Yo, and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. Little Saturday morning rummage today. I haven't done a beast mode rummage in a little over 3 weeks, and so I thought I'd kind of keep trudging along through the beast and showing you guys what all I keep in there and what all is there. Today we're going to be going through all of 1980 tops and most of the 1981 tops. So I really hope you like 1980 tops because there is a ton of them here. I am almost done with 80 tops and not quite ready to do a complete showcase yet, but this will be pretty darn close because I've got a bunch of them, including the number one card of the set that you see here, which is the set for 80 tops. It starts off with some highlights cards, and there are several Hall of Famers listed, including 3,000 hit commemoration accomplishment for Lou Brock and Carl Yastrzemski. And again, you're going to see on these, I mean, if it's pretty much 8 or better, that's good for me. Notice that slab is cracked, which I never like cracked slabs, but there's a Willie McCovey, new NL mark for lefties in terms of home runs, 512, Willie McCovey. There's the Bruce Sutter in an 8. I'm just going to kind of go through these pretty quick just to make it a little more fun. We'll talk about a few along the way. Carlton Fisk. I totally remember these. Again, I started collecting in 81. So in a child's mind, which was my brain at the time, I was 8, then 80 tops was like vintage. Like it was like so old. Like, oh my gosh, 1980, that was all the way last year. I mean, man, those cards are old. And so I just had this, I always thought 80 tops, it's special to me because it just felt like the first vintage cards I ever saw. There's the Carlton Fisk, sorry. Moving along quicker. I just had to tell that funny story because it's true. I felt that way. There's the Gary Carter. I always loved that card. As a catcher myself, I just thought that was really cool. Tagging a guy out at home, showing the ball. There's the Johnny Bench, another catcher. Great catcher. In a mint 9. All right, this next one I'm going to kind of do. So the team cards that year also picture managers, but look at Tony La Russa up there. Man, he's seriously got some chops going on. So there's Tony La Russa. Another Tony Perez, pictured with the Expos. Mint 9. So you're pretty much going to see 8s and 9s on the 80 top stuff. There's the Goose. Pre-mustache Goose. There's a third-year Eddie Murray in a mint 9. Now, it's not all Hall of Famers because I have a few cards that are just kind of special to me. This is one of them. Here's Buddy Bell. This is his first card with the Rangers. And I was a huge Buddy Bell fan as a kid and collected a bunch of his stuff. You can find 10s and 80 tops for plenty of the non-Hall of Famers pretty cheap. So I have that. And then here's Bobby Cox during his first stint with the Braves. There is Jim Rice. I love the All-Star banners too on these. I mean, I really just love that for a bunch of years, but this one in particular I really like. Just the way the All-Stars are listed. So there's Jim Rice at a 9. They had a bunch of leaders cards that showed Hall of Famers. I think this one's cool because it's got the victory leaders, and you got in the NL the 2 leaders they tied were Joe and Phil Niekro, so brothers. Phil's a Hall of Famer, Joe is not, but that's pretty neat. Another leaders card that pictures some Hall of Famers is the strikeout leaders, J.R. Richard, Nolan Ryan. Next up is lefty Steve Carlton in a mint 9. cutting off the top there, and I don't know why. Let me try to fix that. There we go. That's a little better. NL All-Star there. There's Dave Winfield, another NL All-Star. Beautiful card with the Padres. Andre Dawson, Mint 9. These cards are just, they're awesome. I love the flag design. It's really well done. Simple, nice. Phil Necro. Got a lot to go through, but they're all 80 tops and 81 tops. So Joe Torre, Mint 9, Mets team card. Robin Yount. Mike Schmidt. Gaylord Perry. I don't have to say a whole lot, I guess, about these. They just kind of speak for themselves of how awesome they are. Look at the back of these. I'll show you a back. So this is Gaylord Perry. Full stats. Little cartoon. Oh, I gotta hold that one different. Another team card. The Dodgers. Tommy Lasorda is the manager. Cool picture in Dodger Stadium there. Chavez Ravine, Dennis Eckersley. I think when he was still a starter with the Red Sox. And near Mint 8. There's Willie McCovey in a 9. I think that's McCovey's last Topps card. Pretty sure. Hall of Famer Jack Morris. And an 8. There's the Fergie and a 9. Sorry, got to put some stuff up. Keep them stacked right. Mint 9. So in the Beast, I just have these literally in year order and then numeric order within the set. So like Fergie was number 390. Ozzie Smith is the next Hall of Famer at 393. And that way I can just find them pretty easy. I don't know how you guys store your cards. Some people may do like alphabetical order by player and then by year or whatever, but to me that's just the one that makes the most sense. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. It's just whatever makes the most sense to you of how you want to store your slabs. There's Earl Weaver on the Orioles team card. And we got Paul Molitor. I love that there's a mix of action shots in this set, picture-wise, and just portraits. So that was an action shot, and there's a portrait of Don Sutton. Great card here of George Brett. Classic card. Wouldn't call it iconic because I'd get yelled at by Dave, but there's Burt Blyleven on the Pirates with those pillbox hats. Love them. And then next up is the really big rookie card. This is one of the most sought after cards in the 1980s period. Is the Rickey Henderson rookie. He's the only real significant rookie in this entire set. And I have it in an 8. 9s and 10s on this card are really, 10s are crazy. 9s are a lot as well. So 8's good for me. 8s are great. That's how I think about it. There's the Tom Seaver on the Reds. Another big card in this set, probably the second biggest card in this set, is the Nolan Ryan. And there it is in an 8. And then for some goofy reason, I have 2 6s too. So I have 3 of this card. I guess because I think I sent them in just thinking I could get a better grade. And I didn't. Jim Palmer. Again, good mix. There's a portrait. Then you got Reggie swinging away, as only Reggie can, in a mint 9. Got some guys ending their careers pretty much in this era, the twilight of their career. Here's Pops Stargell, for sure one of those guys. There is Sparky Anderson, manager of the Tigers. And then Joe Morgan, the Reds. Just gonna plow through. Hey, there's a Gem Mint 10. Again, I don't have many of these Gem Mint 10s in the 80 tops, just because the 10s go for so much more than the 9s or the 8s. And so to me, it's just, I can't tell that much difference, if I'm being honest, between a 9 and a 10 on the 1980 tops. So I'm not going to pay the premium. If I can find a good deal on it, great, but I'm not going to pay this super premium just because it has the right number or a certain number on the flip. I just don't get that caught up in it. It's a great Rod Carew. I just want the card, and I want the card to be nice. 8.5 on that. Corey Strimsky. And that is it for 1980 tops. So now we are going to dive into 1981. Here we go. The year I started collecting, which is a cool year. And I've gotten a lot of cards that I just loved back then. I always thought these Coca-Colas were neat. For some reason, just similar cards to the regular tops. Printed them. And here's a mint 9 Nolan Ryan. So 81 Donruss, the first year of Donruss they came out. They finally broke the Topps monopoly, and Donruss and Fleer were able to issue cards in 81 Donruss. 81 Donruss actually had gum in it when it first came out. In 82 they changed over to the, what am I thinking? The puzzle backs that they used. So there's the Nolan Ryan. The photography on 81 Donruss is mostly horrendous. Same with 81 Fleer and 82 Fleer. They're just terrible picture taking. But this card right here is in the top 300 cards by Mike Payne. Neat card of George Brett and Rod Carew, 2 great hitters, best hitters. That's a true statement back then. There is a Tim Raines rookie in Donruss, which is also in the top 300 cards by Mike Payne. Got that in a mint 9. Hall of Famer Tim Raines now. This I just got because I thought it was neat. I remember collecting these as a kid, these star stickers that Fleer started putting out. 81, and then they did it through the 80s. Topps had stickers in the 80s as well. And just remember these. I thought they were cool because they were the size of a card. The top stickers are smaller, and so they're a little more abnormal. These were the size of a card. In fact, on the back, it looks like a baseball card. Like that looks like the back of 81 Fleer. And so if you had these, you didn't have to peel them. You could and stick them all over whatever you wanted to, but they just look like a baseball card. Here we go with 81 Topps. The first part of 81 Topps is the leaders cards. You got George Brett, who had his amazing, this is showing his, I think he hit 390 that year in 80. Let me look. Yep, he hit 390 in 1980. Again, I can't remember to take out the trash when my wife asked me, but I can remember that George Brett hit 390 in 1980 and was chasing the 400 mark. Then you got the home run leaders with Reggie, tied with Ben Ogilvy, and you've got Mike Schmidt. The runs batted in leaders, Cecil Cooper and Mike Schmidt. The Victory leaders, Steve Stone and Steve Carlton. It was the year of the Steves. Here we go with some base 81 tops now. I mean, the cap design is obviously classic. It's grown on me a lot. I didn't dislike it ever. It's just become more nostalgic for me, and so I really love it. The All-Star banners, all that stuff. Just love it. Rod Carew. Carl Yastrzemski, getting towards the end of his career. 83 tops is his last tops card. So we're getting close on that. Fergie in an 8. There were some record breaker cards in 81 tops as well. So you got Johnny Bench here with the most home runs for a catcher in his lifetime. That would eventually be broken by Mike Piazza, I think. Steve Carlton, I love it that he's wearing the batting helmet. And most strikeouts by a lefty. Tom Seaver. Raleigh Fingers. On the Padres, got his handlebar mustache rolling along. You saw this card kind of a minute ago because it was the Coca-Cola version, but here's the Nolan Ryan. Straightener up there. Very neat Ozzie Smith card. In 82, of course, he would move on to the Cardinals. And so there's a Ricky Henderson. This is a card that Pack Geek pulled Jeff when we were opening 81 tops at that show. He was really excited to get it. Second year Henderson, great card. Classic look, classic image. And yeah, he's coming over tomorrow, so that'll be fun. We're just gonna hang out. Not Ricky Henderson. Jeff is coming over. Here's the Fernando Valenzuela, Mike Scioscia rookie in an 8. Nice top 300 card of the top 300 of the 20th century. I keep saying 80 cards of the 80s because I've been getting quite a few of those lately. But there's the Harold Baines rookie. Upper echelon Hall of Famer Harold Baines. This card is quite expensive in higher grades. It'll come back down over time once he gets in and everything calms down. There's the Dave Winfield, still with the Padres. Willie Stargell. Like, some of the color combinations work really well. Like the Pirates cards look fantastic, right? And they even use the Pillbox hat logo. Those work really well. Some of them are less appealing, although I love the Reggie, just the way it looks. I think I got that from Those Back Pages Eric, maybe. I know he gave me a couple of them, of Reggie's that he had extras of. That's a beautiful card. I just remember all these so much as a kid. Here's the Topps Tim Raines rookie. Expos Future Stars. He eventually had an 81 Topps traded card. Solo card, but for there he was a triple guy. There's Carlton Fisk, Pudge, All-Star catcher. Robin Yount. Again, Topps did a good job in 81 of mixing up the photos. You got portraits and on the field action shots like that one of Mike Schmidt. And there's the Tony Perez playing a little first base for the Red Sox, twilight of his career. JB, Johnny Bench, portrait. But man, look at that. I'm going to pull this card closer. See at the bottom, hopefully, maybe. There it goes. See the bottom, there's all those print marks and stuff. And I don't think Topps really, you know, they just realize that's part of the process in 81, and there's certain things in certain years they just kind of shrug off as, well, that's how it was back then. So 2 more cards today, and we'll be done. Here's the Don Sutton. I love his fro that he has going on. And then this picture always cracked me up, the golden locks of Dennis Eckersley. Look at that. That's a head of hair right there, a helmet of hair, I should say. Pitching with the Red Sox. So there you go, guys. There's 80 Topps, 81 Topps, almost done with that. Another row finished, and we'll just keep trudging along. I got still a bunch more, and hopefully I can just do these every once in a while when I'm looking for something to do and want to show off some stuff in the Beast. So thanks, guys, for watching. Everybody have a great weekend and keep collecting.